I've just got one last question. Can you say the M word during songs? Yes or no?
No, you can't. You can't say.
Why can't you, Rick?
I tell you why. I watched something the other day, and I've watched this a few times to get a better understanding of it. I think there are rules that we play and have universally when it comes to language and what we're allowed to call each other. For instance,
rules as artists or rules as a black person?
Rules as human beings and
put it this way, Garam, right? I can call you a Paki if I want to.
Absolutely.
And you won't get offended by it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You won't get offended
by it.
But
if I do it...
But then if somebody calls me a Paki, I'm like, who the fuck are you to call me that? Right?
So I'll give you an example that's a little bit closer to home. So there might be something that your missus calls you that is only between you two.
Right.
Yeah. If let me just say, so Jazz, if your missus, let's say your missus calls you babe, and I've come into a conversation, I've met you for the first time, it'll be crazy for me to start calling you babe. Like you just wouldn't expect that. Because you understand that term is agreed between you both.
Agreed term of endearment or respect.
And I don't need to be told that. Like that's not a rule that without having to be told. And that's the same with the N-word. I think however you view it as a person of colour, whether it's claiming the word back or you're disgusted by the word, there is an agreement that no matter what, that word shared between us is okay. Anyone outside of that, there needs to be some sort of rules put or understanding of why you'd like I said, there's nothing in me that would want to call you babe. Like, so for me, I think so why do you want to use the N-word? So where does that actually go? Do you see what I'm saying? If you understand those rules that we play in without having to be educated on it, it happens. It's just this N-word thing. I just think actually, I understand it because I do understand the nuance of it. I understand that actually when you look at the power that's been taken out of it and how it's now just in popular culture, I understand that, but there's still history to that word.
No, absolutely. And that's why, that famous bit, Samuel Jackson and Coach Carr.
Right.
Remember that scene?
Yeah.
Right. I think that's perfect, man. I direct people to that scene to say, look, what he says there makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
If you're promoting the use of the word and making other people think it's cool, that's not cool, man. Like, why would you do that?
Right.
And then the point I made to Indy on a podcast was that song by Jay-Z and Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like, why call the song that?
I completely agree.
Use the word.
I completely agree.
But if I saw them, I wouldn't say, hey. Like, that's completely...
Right.
But if you're referencing the song,
for
me, I'd view that as separate to calling somebody that term. Like, that's completely...
I completely agree.
The intention of the word is... But it's an inflammatory word either way. Like, it's
however, like you said with the Jay-Z and Kanye thing, I do think as well, and rules that are unsaid, is you kind of have to like die by the sword. Like if you put it out there, then there has to be some expectation that somebody is going to use it in a way that you might not particularly like, but you've put it out there, so you have to expect some of expect some of that back. But for me, the general rule is it's a term that we all understand.
No, it's a derogatory term.
Right, 100%. Right?
Yeah, it is.
You don't use it in normal conversation.
100%. 100%.
Indy, agreed. See, Rick has got my point here. See, you, no.
Yeah, I'm telling you why. No. I'm like, I don't make the rules. I just work by the rules given to me. All right, I got parameters. I'm walking in this box. Okay, that's it. Oh man, because there was that thing that happened at Kendrick's concert where he brought that white kid on stage and he said the M word, and Kendrick's like, that ain't gonna fly. And the kid was like, what? And Kendrick's like, you can't say that.
Okay, so in that example, was he saying the word to somebody, or was he singing a lyric?
He was singing
the lyric.
I know that you can't sing that lyric.
But this is my issue with it. But you put it in a song. You put it in a song.
You put it in a sing song. Yeah.
that people are gonna sing.
song.
So what do you expect when somebody sings it back? Do you see what I'm saying? And like I said, I think it's very easy to be black and white about this, but there's so many nuances. There's so many nuances when it comes to culture and what it means for that little white kid saying the N-word. To them, there's no real connection. I'm not saying for every little white
if
kid.
they're not born in a generation where
there's
they
no
were
connection with
racism,
Exactly.
KKK, all this stuff.
Exactly.
And they're saying it because they think it's cool and I idolize.
Exactly that.
I got caught
And I
saying
want
it
to
when I
be
was a
like
kid.
him, therefore I'm saying
Exactly
it.
that. Exactly.
Bro, I got caught saying it
Exactly
when I
that.
was a kid. I said it in the car to my brother once. He slapped me hard. I was like, "What'd you do that for?" He's like, "You can't say that." And I
This
was
is
like,
like
from that day on, I never said it. I was like, "Okay, I can't say this." Right?
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
But like I said, with the Kendrick situation, there's too many nuances to it. You can't say something and expect someone not to say it back if you've put it out there.
Right, here's a question then, Rick. As a black person, why? Okay, yeah. All right. Here's the question. If the term is derogatory, the term has a lot of history. As a black person, why do you want to use the term?
So I don't personally understand that. I do empathize.
Rick, have you ever used the term to refer to one of your boys in that way?
Only in like jokes, like only and
This is
normally
the thing,
it's in
jokes,
an
isn't it?
American
Yeah.
accent.
No, but
like it's not even in.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
not even
the whole,
like as
what's his name,
me.
man? Denzel in what's the film, man? Training Days. You know
Right,
the whole
right.
Like
Oh,
everybody
Right.
does that impression, man.
100%. 100%.
Everyone does that.
100%.
But see, what Rick's point
100%.
here is interesting is it's different to Rick. Would you intentionally put in a public forum a lyric that people are going to hear versus in your immediate, like, close circle?
No.
And even then, you said close circle in a jokey way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I understand the term and I get that, like I said, I can empathize with people that saying they are reclaiming the term and the term is now just vernacular for something else and it doesn't even have its meaning in whatever it was before.
So their point is they rebranded the term. That's what they're saying.
Exactly that. And now it's just part of youth culture. And so that word doesn't have.
But if you talk to older
the
folk
same-
about that, they're like, "Do not fucking say that. You don't understand the shit that was said to us by like skinheads back in the day." Like
Exactly.
Yeah. So it has
Exactly.
a very different meaning. So
And
I get
and that's language. That's language. There's like like I tell you, funny enough, when I was growing up, saying the word fart was really bad. Yeah.
Farts.
So, fart.
Fart as in to break wind.
So give me a sentence. Like if you said, "I want to fart," that was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
I couldn't say fart. Fart in a Jamaican
So you say
household.
what? I want to let
wow.
one off.
Oh, you'd have to say, I'd want to break wind, or I've
Break
yeah,
wind, Rick.
yeah,
That
like,
sounds so posh.
I'm
I
telling
want to
you.
break wind.
So the connotation of the word fart would be, say, let's you know how they say like money back in the day, then they inflate it for today's wealth, right? So fart in your day is like fuck now. Let's say you had the
Right.
same
Absolutely.
weight of like
Absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely. So like for my parents and my grandparents, I could never say fart. That was almost
Could
like a
you fart?
swear. Of course you could.
Okay, alright, cool.
You keep that shit in,
I
boy.
couldn't say.
Keep it in, man. Don't fucking do anything. Alright? You only
And
fart in the
die.
bathrooms.
You
And
shit yourself, okay? You don't fart though.
So, but
Oh my God.
generations later, my daughter says it, and it's no issue at all. And she will say it in front of my mum, her grandma, and it's no issue at all. And that's again like the
Progress.
journey
Yeah.
of
Evolution.
language. Yeah, exactly. The evolution
the
of
journey.
language. And and I can see and I understand. Like I said, I can empathize with some of that when it comes to the N word, but because of where I am in terms of what I know about the word, I can't overlook it. For others who might not have the same understanding of the history of where that's come from, it doesn't have the same connotation, and that's okay. From your viewpoint, I completely understand that, but for me, I have a responsibility because I know now where it's come from.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
And in that analogy, like you said, Rick, so with your daughter, what's an example of a word you're like, no, we don't use that word? What's your fart equivalent now? The evolution of fart word in your house?
To be fair, I think
wait.
it's fart. I think
Outside of basic, like swear words are universally accepted.
Right.
Bad, unless you're Indy, who just likes to swear anyway.
Only now. I was never like this.
That's a whole different.
I don't know, like insults, like calling someone an idiot or a fool. I like those things. Are just like, oh, you just find other ways of describing people.
As
but
in, you
About
would
clown.
you'd call them out and be like, why are you saying that? Like,
right,
you know,
yeah. Why is that person? Why have you called that person an idiot, or why have you called that person a fool? So yeah, it's yeah, and fart. Even I like when I like before I said it, I had to tell myself it's okay to say fart.
It's so good. I give myself permission.
I give myself
It's so
permission.
innocent. It's so innocent. I love it,
It
man.
really
I
is.
love it.
That's cute.